You're never to say those words again. I'm the only person you've said this to, I hope.
Yes.
Good. I'm bound by attorney-client confidentiality. Look, there's a certain amount of risk in every business.
Is that what the crash of Transglobal 149 is all about? Business as usual? The great American loophole?
Call it what you like. You're not liable for what happened.
I issued an order. Transglobal's operating costs were to be cut by 10% or kiss your careers goodbye. Well, I had one purchasing manager who was quite the company man. He bought bargain basement blades for the turbine engines. And the blades failed. And the planes crashed. And people died. But by God, I got my 10%.
Adam, you can't accept responsibility for that.
Why not? I accepted the profits.
You didn't know.
Well, I know now. And I also know what I'm going to do about it.
Nothing too foolish.
I'm going to ground every one of the planes in Transglobal's fleet and change every blade in every engine.
Shut down the airline, it'll cost you millions.
I don't give a damn.
The press will be all over us. They'll learn about the turbine blades. And the company I lined up to buy Corpview will disappear. Grieving relatives will sue Transglobal Airlines down to its last bag of beer nuts. And when your connection to Corpview is discovered, it'll ruin you, Adam. You'll spend the rest of your life in court, and end your days without a penny to pass on to your children.
What's the alternative? I've got to fix those planes before another one falls out of the sky.
And you will. You'll continue to take each plane out of service one at a time, quietly. Replace the blades, tighten a nut or two, whatever, and send it back up. Meantime, you play the odds against another crash.
I didn't get where I am. Leaving it to the fates.
It won't be for long. As soon as you sign the deal to sell Corpview, Transglobal will be someone else's problem.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You don't have to like it. You just have to live with it.
And if another plane fails, it's not my life that's at stake, is it?
I can't believe we're still sitting on the runway.
Well, we are flying Transglobal. Maybe it's just as well.
Oh, darling, I'm not going to let one freak accident keep me off the only direct flight from Pine Valley to Fifth Avenue.
Oh, of course not. After all, we need to shop till we drop.
Well, that's not funny.
There are people who should feel guilty about my wife's death. But you're not one of them, Brooke. And you never were. Now, instead of thinking of your own safety or panicking, you saved my life. And you saved my baby's life. And everything that could have been done for Maria, you did that too.
I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
So am I. But it's not your fault. And I can't leave here with you thinking that it was.
I lived through that plane crash every time I closed my eyes. I'll never know why I lived. And Maria died.
Listen to me. Why you and I lived, it's a question for God. Why Maria died, that's a question for Transglobal.
It's a question you've been asking. Tempo magazine's been covering the crash extensively, hasn't it?
Yes, we haven't gotten any real information from Transglobal. They've been dragging their feet on everything.
Well, to be fair, Transglobal did respond quickly to another incident on another one of their planes in which you were also involved.
Yes, I was at a transportation board meeting in D.C. regarding this matter. And I flew back on a Transglobal flight. And when we were landing, there was a sound, a bang, like the sound that night on that flight on 149. And I was out of control somewhat, and I admit that.
That's understandable.
Well, it wasn't understandable to the good people at Transglobal because they had me arrested for disturbing the peace.
Yeah, anything to shut you up. Whenever I ask any questions about the crash, the company shoves grief counseling down my throat like there's a problem with me because I want to know why my sister died.
Well, grief counseling can be helpful.
Transglobal doesn't care about our grief. They're afraid of our anger.
They've been shoving settlement money down our throat. I mean, before the dust had time to settle from the crash.
Really?
Transglobal has debts to pay, but it isn't debts that they can pay in dollars and cents. Maria Santos was a loving wife and a devoted mother, a loyal sister, and a compassionate doctor. And what is the going rate for a life like that? You can't repay the people that Maria loved with money or with counseling. The only way that you can repay people is by telling them the truth. Transglobal owes Edmund and Mateo and me and Maria the truth about what happened that night. And they owe it to all of the victims and all of the survivors of Flight 149. And as long as people fly on that airline, they are playing Russian roulette. And I hope to hell that the person who is responsible for this disaster never has a day of peace.
Let's just hope Transglobal feels the heat.
I'd like to thank all of my guests for being here. I'm sure you all had more pleasant things to do with your afternoon than relive one of the worst nights of your life. And I'd like to thank you for being with us today. Until next time, this is Tad Martin signing off for The Cutting Edge. And we're out. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Miss Gray, I couldn't imagine dealing with you. I'm just... I'm tired over there, and I just have to hold an iron when I get up here. Okay. All right.
You all right?
Yeah.
Brooke?
Oh, Adam, hi.
Hi.
Did you see the show?
Oh, most of it, yes. Brooke, there's something I have to tell you.
Yes.
Well, it's just that I'm sorry.
Oh, Adam, thank you. What do you have to be sorry for?
Well, I'm just sorry about what happened, that's all.
You know, as a matter of fact, I owe you an apology.
You do?
For all those times I used to accuse you of being the most ruthless businessman in the world. Well, I can tell you the people behind Transglobal have taught me what pure, uncaring ruthlessness really is. I appreciate it. Listen, you'll excuse me? I want to go find Edmund.
Yes. Ted, do you know where Liza is?
I don't think she came in today. Looks like you're going to have to keep better track of your valuables there, Adam.
Hi. How are things on the old home front?
They're fine. Liza's home now, for good.
Oh, yippee. Well, I'm really happy things are working out for the two of you, or the three of you.
I have some urgent business I have to discuss with Liza. Did she happen to say where she was going?
Oh, good Lord, where did this man learn to fly? Correspondence school?
Okay, I'm scared too. Everything's gonna be okay.
Look what's going on up there. We've got a right to know. Please, everyone, we're experiencing a degree of turbulence. All right, darling.
Brooke?
Hi, I'm sorry I didn't catch up with you at the studio.
That's okay. I didn't want to stick around, actually. I have a hard time dealing with everybody's sympathy.
I understand. I just wanted to say thank you
For what?
for doing something for me that I couldn't do for myself. You forgave me.
I didn't forgive you, Brooke. You didn't do anything that needs forgiveness. Maria left us knowing that Maddie was safe. That meant more to her than her own life. And that means everything to me. And thanks to you, Maria will live on. Through Maddie and through both of my kids.
Maddie belongs with you and Sam. And I'll do everything I can to help you get her back.
Yeah, well, that's a promise we can both make to Maria, can't we? It's not biology. I am Maddie's father. I share her soul. And I will get my daughter back.